Let's do this.
All right, that one went up. So our mics keep cutting off on us, so if you can't hear us, we apologize. So once again, this is David Lillie from Vivid Publishing. He's the creator of Dreamkeepers. All around amazing person. Thank you. The love of my life, I'm sure. So, yeah, I don't know.
All right. Are we live online? Can we just jump into it?
Yep, looks like it.
All right. Thank you for coming out, everybody. And I'm going to kick things off with a question, so get ready for mild participation. Who here has ever had anything stolen from them? Okay, I see hands going up. We have a couple people that are very fortunate, ma'am. I wish I had your life. But I think almost everyone kind of has the experience of having something taken away from them. And the reason I bring that up, as we're talking about comics and NFTs and future art, well, I'm just going to yell at you if you don't mind. Yeah, the mics tend to go out. But the reason I'm bringing that up is because when we were at our table in the dealership today, I had an artist actually come up and tell me a story that was kind of heartbreaking. Like, he showed us some work on his phone.
The green one just has fresh
some of the
batteries.
best concept art I've ever seen. This guy was incredible. And he said, oh, I just like seeing the art in the dealer's room because I don't really do art anymore. And so we asked him, like, well, why don't you do art anymore? Because your stuff is incredible. And what happened was, he would sometimes share previews of his art in a Discord room, and before he could even complete the piece and put it out there, other people would be online claiming that they made it and stealing his art. And he said, like, just he would put months and months into a single piece. These paintings were incredible, and it just he said it was too much to see that recognition get taken away by somebody else. So that's kind of the for me, that sometimes people stealing art, doing that sort of thing, that kind of corruption can have a really horrible effect on the marketplace, and it can stop art from being made. So let's see, and the thing is, it doesn't just stop with individual people stealing art trying to look cool on social media. You can have corporations stealing people's, intellectual property, especially because they have the legal muscle to kind of push themselves around. And there's even, in the terms of service, I think they might have updated it to be better, but let's use an imaginary art platform called Divergent Art. Just making one up, it's not real, but it might be inspired by a real one. But even in their terms of service, in the terms of service of Divergent Art, they could actually take anything you post on their platform, and they could kind of say it belongs to them, and take the licensing rights to it, and make merchandise with it, and they would not give the artist anything. Oh, is this working now?
I guess so.
There we go. Now I have to dial down the anger, or I'll blow you like a tornado. All right, so this kind of brings up the topic of who really owns something and how do we kind of get around some of the unfortunate issues that artists have to deal with in terms of corruption. So the first thing I want to talk about, there's going to be 4 basic sections, and at the end of each little section, I do want to open it up to questions. So we're not saving up all the questions for the end. So if you have something in mind, keep it there. You're going to be able to ask it pretty soon. The first thing is, what are NFTs? Does anyone like the acronym? Raise your hand if you do. One person.
Hey!
I respect you, but I respectfully disagree. I don't like that acronym. Non-fungible tokens, what does it even mean? So I want to explain what they actually are, because is it going to be good for art? A lot of people think it's actually going to be bad for art. They think this is going to sort of destroy and ruin the artistic market. But if it's going to be good or bad, we're not going to really know unless we actually understand just what this stuff actually is. So if you've never heard of what blockchain is, I'm going to explain it very briefly. And you can ask more questions later if you want. So the basic idea of blockchain, I'm going to try to make it not boring. Please tell me if I'm doing well. The basic idea of blockchain is, let's say you have a computer ledger. We'll just go with crypto because everyone sort of understands crypto a little better. Right now, the way it works is, let's say the bank has one computer, and that computer dictates how much is in your checking account. So that number on that one computer server, that's how much money you have. If somebody hacks that one computer server, they can change that number to anything they want, and just like that, poof, you have a different amount of money because it was just one ledger, one record, and once they change that record, it could be anything. Or let's say Uncle Sam is not too pleased with something you've been doing. He can freeze that ledger, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's just, he has total control over that one computer, and that's your entire financial life. So with crypto, what they've done is they said, what if we didn't have one single computer that had one single ledger that is easy for anyone to hack or control or corrupt? Instead, what blockchain does is it gets like 1,000 computers, and they all operate on something called a zero trust protocol, where they all check with each other, and every time there's one ledger, but it's saved on thousands of computers, like a network of stars. And every time somebody wants to change a number in there, the computers all check with each other. They say, hey, is this legit? Yeah, it's legit over here. Is it legit with you? Is it legit with you? Is it legit? So in order to try to change somebody's account number, you would have to hack thousands of computers simultaneously. And essentially, when you look at the math, it's pretty much impossible. So what that does is it makes so that instead of one ledger where one person can change the number and screw you over, it's a gigantic decentralized network, and it's not under any one person's control, but it's 100% authentic. Everything just double checks itself automatically. It is kind of science at its best, in my opinion, because it eliminates any possibility of fraud. So, or at least, to the degree that humans are capable of doing that so far. The Crypto Comics guys, they're up here because they're actually experts in this technology. They're helping pioneer some pretty exciting stuff. Fry, did I just totally mess this up?
No, that was actually absolutely accurate.
You heard it. I didn't mess it up. Okay. Now, anyone, was that completely boring? You can be honest.
It's a little boring, guys. Come on.
Okay, so the audience...
You can be honest.
The audience is not totally honest, but they're very kind and nice, and I think we all hold that in high regard. So that's let's see. So I wanted to first explain what is blockchain, and I explained it with cryptocurrency. But the thing is, you don't just have a blockchain that works with money, because now they're making a blockchain that actually works with art. So instead of taking a Bitcoin and having that on a big decentralized ledger with all this authenticity, you can actually have a piece of art, and you can put that on the blockchain, and it has all this authenticity and unfakeability and this zero trust protocol. But what does that even mean? I mean, this is going to be kind of a big game changer because this opens up so many possibilities. This is almost like a Gutenberg level change, and I think we're so early in the process that we don't even really understand how it might change the marketplace, how it might change how people deal with art. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that. Are there some potential bad things, some potential good things? In fact, why don't we stop right here? If you guys have any questions so far, or if you have any opinions, do you think this is going to be good or bad? Just raise your hand and I'll try to repeat into the mic what you say. Anybody?
You guys just learned about NFTs and you have no questions at all. You guys are brilliant.
Going once, going twice. Sold. I get to move on to the next section. All right, so first of all, one downside that I've kind of heard people talk about, and I can kind of imagine it is, I mean, you've seen all the NFT headlines, right? Where people are like, oh, someone just sold an NFT of this piece of art, this piece of digital art, and it sold for $30 million. Whoa! So a lot of people are thinking, wait a minute. I'm used to going on DeviantArt or Twitter, and I look at these pictures and I enjoy looking at them. Are you saying that I won't be able to see them because Bill Gates bought it and there's only one? Because that's the way it could kind of work. If you have an NFT or a blockchain asset, I like to call it blockchain assets because I know what that means. But if you have a blockchain asset, let's say it's just one, it's one thing, and let's say the artist sells it for $30 million, and let's say Bill Gates is like, you know what? I just decided that my new goal is to own every piece of furry art in existence. And Bill Gates just buys every piece of furry art and no one else gets to see anything. So that would be a potential downside. What?
Absolutely happen.
Yeah.
I think this is very realistic.
Has Mr. Gates contacted cryptocurrencies?
I can neither confirm or deny this, but
All right, so their legal department will not comment on Mr. Gates. They're probably smarter than me. But so that's one of the possible downsides is, are we going to see free art go away? And I will say that right now, when you were looking at art on Twitter or DeviantArt, I can tell you that is not free. You think it is, but we're going to get to that later. You're paying a cost there when you're using those services. What is I going to talk about next? All right, free art going away. Well, one thing I was going to mention was in the early days of Dreamkeepers, the comic that we produce, it came across my radar that there was some piracy going on. We were selling our books. They were only available to purchase. We did not have them for free on our website at that time. And someone told me, hey, they're pirating your work. They're putting it in these galleries over here. And I kind of had a choice. I could leap in there in like a blaze of glory and tell people, hey, you're not giving me any money for this. I could try to stamp it out. But I figured, you know what? The piracy is not the same thing as a book. If people really want the book, if they want the real thing, then they'll probably go ahead and buy it. And if they're just looking at it, I kind of viewed the piracy as free advertising. And in fact, I was flattered because it's like, hey, these people actually want to read my work. They actually find it interesting. I don't really want to stop that. So even then, even when I had no idea what blockchain was, there was a distinction in my mind between the real thing and just like a copy that people can share around. Did you have a question?
Just kind of like an affirmation as to what you're saying specifically.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same in reference to, as an affirmation of what you're saying, in reference to piracy, I've heard many cases where people will pirate movies, they'll get like the footage sort of stuff, and then later on down the line, like, oh, I really like this movie, and they'll physically buy the movie. Like,
Oh, wow.
I've heard tons and tons of cases of that sort of thing.
I think that probably depends on the movie, but that's another interesting thing too. It kind of brings quality into the picture again, which I like. So yeah, in the early day, I kind of, in my head, I had a little bit of a difference between, what's the real thing versus what is just sort of like a copy or a display of it. And I guess another way to think of it is if you have like a Picasso painting versus on the side, a reproduction of a Picasso painting, the reproduction might look exactly the same, but it's not going to have that same value because it's not the real thing. And I think blockchain assets, they're basically the digital equivalent of that. They're the digital equivalent of the real thing because it's on that blockchain network that you can't really fake. You don't really have the ability to like inject fraud in there. Because even when you come to like something physical, you think, oh, well, that's more real. That's more authentic. But I think there's an estimate, something like 20 to 80% of sports memorabilia is fraudulent. Like they fake the papers, they fake the little certificates, all that stuff. There's a lot of fraud. It's just because it's real and tangible doesn't mean that it's, authentically what it's claiming to be. So, all right, so that is the potential downside section. Oh, I also want to talk a little bit about the possibility of art going away, because I had a lot of my art go away for a lot of my readers a few years back. And I was using this service, probably for legal reasons. I should say what the service's name was. Thank you. But I was using the service that was just selling digital comics, and I was like, hey, this is great. They can manage people buying digital comics, there we go. And after I was using this service for a few years, I noticed suddenly they were not paying me for the downloads that I was selling anymore. And so I was like, hey, you guys, you're supposed to be kind of giving me royalties on these. I see that I've been selling stuff, what gives? And they kind of stonewalled me until finally they got back to me months and months later, and they're like, oh, well, we're going bankrupt, so you're just going to be too bad if you don't get any of that money. And I was like, okay, well, that's business. But here's where the real problem came in. All of my customers, and I think there were several thousand customers who had bought digital comics from that company, those comics vanished because they were not downloads. They were in that company's servers, in that company's one ledger. And so once this company went away and they took their server offline, every single person that bought one of my books no longer had it. And that was a bad day.
That sounds like a really bad day.
It was. What we did, we put the word out and said, hey, if you bought a download, or not really a download, if you bought a digital comic from this company and it's gone, please email me. We'll send you a link, you can download it, and I don't care if it gets pirated, whatever. But that's just an example of, sometimes you think art is going to be free or it's more easily available, but if it's not in a solid system that's secure, it can just vanish. And I had books that my customers had bought just vanish right out from under their noses. So that is one way where, again, I don't think at that time, it probably existed, but I didn't know about it, but where blockchain would make that no longer a problem. All right, so that is me talking about the company which shall not be named.
Do we have any questions from online?
No, we don't. Facebook screen is down right now, so no.
Oh, okay. Facebook doesn't like us.
Facebook went down again?
Yeah.
And Facebook is having issues. Well, so that's the first chunk. I want to kind of explain what is blockchain, just so we sort of understand what on earth we're talking about when it comes to NFTs. I want to talk about what are the potential downsides of going with NFTs. Is Bill Gates going to steal everybody's porn? It's a risk.
What is that? We have a question.
Oh yeah, online question.
So this one comes in from Hazen Cruz.
He sounds familiar.
How would you like to be able to trade digital comics online and collect rare and limited editions of them that you can resell? That's what NFTs does for comics.
Actually, that's perfect.
It wasn't a question, though.
How would you like to?
Oh, you just wanted to give Hazen Cruz his time in the light. I see how it is. He could have traveled here.
Well, as the audience points out, that sounds suspiciously like an advertisement.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it does segue next into what makes blockchain assets the real thing, just the way a Picasso painting is a real thing. Because, when it comes to a Picasso, obviously, Picasso himself put paint all over that. That's why it's the original. But so we understand where the extra value comes into a Picasso painting. But what makes a digital asset, a blockchain asset, what makes that more the real thing than, say, like, a JPEG? Well, one example, can you actually show the badges that I've got in Crypto Comics?
We can.
Awesome, because at first I thought this was kind of like gimmicky, but once I started actually doing it, in Crypto Comics, you can get a little badge every time there's an event. Like, so if there was like a book launch, you could redeem a badge in their blockchain-based system. And if there was a book launch during CouchCon, because we were at an online convention, if you attended a certain panel, you could actually get access to this badge. And then once it was over, no one else could get that badge. So that introduces, with blockchain, it's not necessarily just that the most richest Bill Gates in the world will buy one copy of everything, because some things can have multiple copies and it can even be tied to a time frame, like an event. So now when I look at those little badges, it's really interesting, and I want to get more because each one is a little mark in history. It's something that I was actually participating in. It's something that I actually did, and I got to see, and I got to view it with other people. So those badges for me, that's like almost like a nice little personal photo album or something. And if somebody else went in there and took some screenshots of that and put it on their desktop, they have a screenshot of it, it's a picture of it, but it is not the same, it is not the real thing, because that is an unfakeable, authentic piece of evidence that yes, I was there, I got that thing within the right time frame, it's on the blockchain, look what I actually did. So that's just an example that blockchain stuff doesn't have to be tied just to a rich guy's transaction. It can be tied to an event, it can be open to more than one person, and that is like really just dipping a tiny little toe into the possibilities that you can have with this technology.
Another nice thing about the badges, as well as the rest of blockchain technology, is that the community that's built up around it is really amazing.
Yeah.
Specifically, like here,
Yeah, and thank you folks for coming out. So that's one of the things I wanted to write is what makes blockchain assets the real thing, what are the actual benefits, and I love my badges, they're authentic. And it's not just authentic in terms of my personal experience, there's, the authenticity of the blockchain. Let's say, for example, that I just crowdfunded Volume 5 of Dreamkeepers, which I did. Let's say that I didn't really tell the backers about this because I didn't want to get them excited too early, but let's say that there's going to be a Volume 5 crypto comic blockchain asset that every single person that backed that Indiegogo gets. Well, every one of them is going to get it, and it's going to be the only, like, there's only going to be, how many backers were there? Over, I think, almost 800, 700 something.
I think that's right, yeah.
But that is how many copies of that Volume 5 Indiegogo edition blockchain comic will ever exist. So those people, they own it, it's theirs, and if they want to down the line, if someone else wants it, if there's demand for those, they could even resell it. So it's kind of cool. There's a lot of authenticity. The other thing I really like, well, one comment is you can even add content to these comics that you can't necessarily get in a real comic. Like a Cloud Scratcher, he's got audio commentary in his blockchain comic, right?
Yeah. So Cody, the creator of Cloud Scratcher, Cody Bear,
Yeah.
I should say. What he did is he actually went through his comic and he added in a commentary track, just like a director's commentary for a new movie. So if you purchase this comic, you would not only be able to enjoy the comic the way it was intended to be read, but you can actually also turn on the audio feature inside of the reader, and you can go through and listen to everything right from Cody's mouth, exactly what he went through while he was making the comic, the questions he had as far as his art, which is the thing that stands out, I think, to most people that end up reading that book. Yeah, go ahead.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Cloud Scratcher Chapter 3, Commentary from the Author and Art, the Writer and Artist, which makes me the overall author.
And then another nice feature is that as you flip the page, it actually switches the tracks through the comic book. We've got creators using this for all sorts of fun uses. This is just one of our most interesting ones that we did.
Yeah.
That is very more. I notice more and more getting this.
I love this stuff.
Yeah, there's a risk I would just get locked into reading Cloud Scratcher all night. But so that's one of the main advantages that I really like about some of the blockchain assets is they can be content rich. And audio track is really just scratching the surface. I think they can even integrate animation, other things. Again, we're sort of exploring new territory here. We're just kicking it off. The other thing, and I just kind of like this a lot about the idea of blockchain art and blockchain comics is it's basically as close as humankind can get to mortal eternity. I mean, if you think about it, if you have like a book that you really want to treasure, that book is made out of paper and wood, and it might last for a few hundred years, maybe a few thousand if you're really lucky, but eventually that thing is going to decay and it's going to be a pile of ash or dust. So anything real, anything physical, everything decays, everything goes away. And even when it comes to digital stuff like a hard drive, you might have some beautiful art, and then that hard drive crashes, that art is gone. So the closest thing we can get to something that lasts forever in human experience, I think, is the blockchain. Because that is a digital asset. It's never going to decay. It's backed up on thousands of different computers that are constantly cross-referencing with each other. And I don't know, there's something to me that when I create a story, when I create a character, when I create a drawing, knowing that it's actually going to go out there and kind of last in eternity in format where other people can find it. It doesn't have to be buried in a concrete vault in the core of the earth or something. Blockchain is really reaching as far as we can into the future, and that's something that excites me, and that's something that makes it a lot different than just a collection of JPEGs in a folder on the desktop of a hard drive or something. So eternity is appealing. Also gives you personal ownership. There's even, when it comes to potential business stuff, right now we have a whole court system where if you decide, hey, I have the rights to this image, I get to make coffee mugs with this image. If someone says, no, you don't, I drew that. We have a whole court system where people have to argue it out and fight and go back and forth and dispute who has the contract and who really owns it. If you have smart contracts in a blockchain, basically that is all taken care of by perfectly accurate math. So there's even potential business applications for artists. I don't know, I don't understand exactly how it's going to go, but it's going to be really nice if we can get less lawyers necessary in our lives. I see someone agrees.
We have another question.
Oh, yeah.
No.
No.
Question from the internet.
Nope.
Nope. Internet was thinking about it.
It was just a comment.
Hi, Internet.
All right. But that is another advantage of the smart contracts on the blockchain, which this is an issue, and we're going to come back to this. Remember at the beginning I said if you're looking at art on Twitter or on an art account or something, you might think you're looking at it for free. You're not. Nothing in this life is really free. When you're looking at that stuff on a social media platform, you're surrendering a few things. One is your data to that social media platform. And the more you understand about that, the creepier it gets, trust me. You are giving lots and lots of your data to them. They are using that to advertise to you. They're using those advertisements to enrich themselves. And on top of that, they're also using that, if you want to get conspiratorial, they're using that to promote what they want you to see more and minimize what they want you to see less. And that's another thing about art on a centralized ledger. Let's say one of the main entertainment style platforms right now is streaming. Things, TV is kind of crumbling away. TV is kind of like just falling apart because no one's really watching it that much anymore. I think it's still on, airports. Airports love it. But
That's true. I was just at an airport.
Yeah.
All over the place.
Yeah, so
Pretty cool.
television is on the way out, generally speaking, or at least it's on the decline. So streaming is the new go-to thing. But even in streaming, again, it's kind of a centralized ledger. So if someone has, like, let's say there's a Simpsons episode, and whoever is in control of that ledger decides, oh, this episode is offensive. We need to get some good old-fashioned censorship going in here. They'll just do it. So you might think, oh, I'm going to get access to the Simpsons. I can throw my DVDs out. But if there's someone that's in control of that streaming service, they can literally change the episodes out from under you. And even if you happen to like some of the censorship and some of the tweaking that they're doing now, just pretend the people in charge are the people that you don't want in charge, and eventually it's probably going to be the case. So that's another nice thing about the blockchain, and that's another thing that I mean when I say eternity, is not only is it going to be out there forever, but no one can come in and censor it and mess it up and try to make it their version of it. Unless they make a new version of it, in which case they're still not touching your original. So that's a nice feature, is it's very censorship resistant, which I like.
Yeah, and going back to the personal information that you were talking about earlier, David.
Yeah.
Another nice thing about the blockchain is it doesn't require any of it whatsoever. So a system like ours, for example, the only information we collect from you is the information that we absolutely need to display your comics page. That's it.
Yeah, and I was mentioning before how social media companies, you are paying in the data that you give them. On top of that, the artist is not getting paid. Because if you think about it, artists are putting their stuff on Twitter, on Facebook, on DeviantArt, or wherever, hoping to get big. Those platforms sell ads, and they don't give the money to the artist. They give the money to corporations. So it's a gigantic machine where these artists that so desperately want to get some recognition, they desperately want to have at least some reasonable exchange of value for what they're providing to people, they just get shafted. And I'm not saying that people should completely stop sharing their art on Twitter or DeviantArt. I mean, those platforms are good, I guess, as advertisements, but you also want to try to get some sort of marketplace where when you do something that people value, they can give you the value. And if you are a customer and you're enjoying some great art and you really want that creator to do more and you want them to be appreciated, a like on Twitter is not nothing, but it's a lot better if you could say throw them like 30 cents in some marketplace. Because I think that the more we can directly correlate what a customer, what a reader, what a viewer, what they actually want, what they actually value, the more we get that value to go directly to the artist making it, I think that makes for a much healthier marketplace. Oh, yes, do you have a question or idea?
So are you saying that if you have something as an NFT, if you have something as an NFT, then you can post it and you can get money for it on some site?
Yes.
Yeah, potentially the way it would work is, it would be sort of like, how nowadays, if somebody wants to say buy a Bitcoin, because a Bitcoin is, it's a digital currency, it's not really a physical thing. If they want to buy some Bitcoin, they can take literal money, like US dollars, and they can put that into the blockchain, and then boom, they exchange that money out, and they have a Bitcoin in their account. But you don't just have to do that with money. People can do that with art and with comics, because if you have a digital comic, a Bitcoin is ones and zeros essentially. And a comic, image files, audio files, video files, that's all ones and zeros. So if you can do it with Bitcoin, why not do it with art? And that's what NFTs kind of are. So yeah, it is absolutely possible. And crypto comics, I think they are doing a great job getting this rolling to build a marketplace that is built on top of a blockchain. And what it does is it actually facilitates the possibility of people directly buying stuff from the artists. And yeah, there's no weird middleman, there's no weird big brother like Mark Zuckerberg type figure. It's like looking at every single thing you do and every single click that you like navigate on. It's just again, I think the best creative marketplace channels value between customers and authors and artists without any weird layers between and without any weird incentives mixed in there.
What's the website that does this?
CryptoComics.com?
True.
Cryptocomics.com.
Yep.
And I will say, full disclosure, I obviously have an account on CryptoComics.com because it does all the
we're
cool
all
stuff.
looking at it.
Yeah, it does all the cool stuff that we're talking about. Now, it's not to say that CryptoComics.com is the only thing in existence that deals with NFTs, and I think they're the only one that I'm really involved with, and I really like the way they do things. But this is going to be a huge global change. CryptoComics, they are kind of on the cutting edge of it, especially in terms of comics. But this is going to be, I think, changing the entertainment marketplace on a very broad scale.
I agree.
Is it just comics or is it art too?
Nope, we do comics, art books. David here, one of our most popular books in the system is actually his sketchbook. I think it's number 3 right now, right?
Yeah, and actually here's another thing that's unique. If you look at the living journal I have on there, this is another thing that you can do on the blockchain that you can't really like pirate this sort of thing effectively. It's a living sketchbook, which means it's a sketchbook that people got on the blockchain, so they have a copy of it. But whenever I want to, I can add a new page, and that's why it's a living sketchbook. So all these people that have this sketchbook that they got, that sketchbook will continually be populated with new content if I ever remember to put new content into it. But again, that goes back to the content-rich part of it. You can have audio clips, you can have like additional content populating. There's just a lot of possibilities that we haven't even tapped into yet.
Right.
And that kind of takes me towards, I think, what I wanted to end off on, which is, again, there's a few ideas here about, what if we had people that added audio tracks? What if we had people that have these living sketchbooks, you can add more pages? What if we had a marketplace that's not just spying on you and taking all the money from artists and giving it to advertising corporations? There's a lot of what ifs, and I don't think we've even run into like most of them yet. We're so early in it. So yeah, I was gonna say, do you guys have any imaginary ideas or aspirations or what you would like to see a marketplace like this do? Like just any brainstorms or any fears even, stuff that you would like to see it avoid?
Nothing. What was that?
It is a complicated question,
It is.
but
And can you say that one more time?
It makes you try to imagine something that hasn't necessarily happened yet.
Right. So every one of the features that we talked about that's inside of our system right now is literally a feature that some creator came up with an idea to use the system with. I mean, right now what we're doing is we're doing a beta launch. So essentially we are listening to everybody's feedback. We're figuring out, what there is that we can streamline, what processes we can make better. We're getting everything kind of set and ready to rock and roll for it. I think right now we've got somewhere around 600 active users right now.
nice.
Don't quote me on that, guys. I could be off on that number. I probably should look that up before I set the open my mouth.
Gotta check with the legal department first.
Yeah.
I can say one thing that I would really like to see happen with blockchain marketplaces, and it's one of my complaints with the current crowdfunding industry. Crowdfunding is great, it really lets us finally make some really, really fancy books for Dreamkeepers or series because the audience is so invested and interested. It's been snowballing fantastically, but especially when we were on Kickstarter, if you were just browsing the website, you would have really no way of knowing that because they would bury us in the search results. And a lot of times the people that run some of these social media platforms especially, they will put the stuff that they want you to see, they'll boost it right to the top, and if they don't want you to see something for whatever reason, they will bury it. So when you're a customer and you're trying to find what is cool and what is good and what you would really like to enjoy, it's difficult when you have someone way over in Silicon Valley kind of like corrupting the process. And what I would love to see on a blockchain with all of its authenticity and transparency, this decentralized structure that nobody can just control unilaterally, I would love to see something where, let's say, you get like a comic and it's really popular and you've already read it, you've enjoyed it, but that comic is so popular, you're like, you know what? I'm just going to resell this because it's actually risen in value, Well, the thing is, if there's a lot of people on that blockchain, that you can actually see what is actually in demand, what is actually being read, what is actually being transacted and shared around a lot. And it's sort of a way of telling what's actually good. It's a metric that is not just being corrupted by the people at the top of the food chain in a social media company. And so I like the idea that people go into some place, because I mean, the reality is sometimes you're gonna get some good comics, some good art. Sometimes you're gonna get a lot of stuff that might not be the best. And right now, for me as a publisher, one of the biggest problems I think in the market, aside from the physical distribution side, which that's a whole other panel presentation, but one of the biggest issues is a lot of the journalistic outlets, a lot of the geek news outlets, they're captured. And by that I mean they basically take money from Marvel and DC to talk about Marvel and DC, and you do not know anything about any indie creators, you know, and the exception proves the rule. It's very, very much like, because the crowdfunding market is exploding, there's so much unique new content, it's the hotbed of original stuff now. But if you were reading all these news websites about, oh, geek culture and nerd culture, you would have no way of knowing that. You probably wouldn't even know the crowdfunding market exists, because all they talk about is Batman stuff or, you know, superhero Marvel stuff that the sales are dropping like rocks. So there is basically a blockade on information of like, what is a cool comic, what are people enjoying, what is actually growing, what has value. A lot of these companies, they try to keep that from you so they can maintain their legacy grip on the marketplace. And that's one of the things that I like about the blockchain. I like the idea that it's got so much transparency and decentralized power that you can actually see what are people actually enjoying, what are they actually consuming, and maybe that'll give us a clue to like get to the better stuff faster.
Mm-hmm. And to talk about, well, speaking of getting to better stuff, one thing that you guys can do, hey man, can you jump back to that profile page for me? So what we're doing while we're in beta is we're really limiting how many people can sign up for the system. I know that sounds kind of weird, sounds, you know, against the grain, but that allows us to control the growth so that as we're building this software out, we can make sure it doesn't get overwhelmed or anything. But if you guys want, you can go to cryptocomics.com/u/Vivid Publishing and go ahead and scroll down. And when you scroll down on the page, you're going to see this blue button. I'm going to walk over here and white this thing. Is that going to work for everybody? So you can just click on this blue button right here. When you guys do that, you can sign up right now, and every single book that's inside the system, that is loud. Every single book that's inside of the system right now, you guys can check out. Now that is because of awesome creators like Dave here that have put their books up on the system and are letting anyone and everyone go through and read them, check them out. All we ask is that you guys leave reviews for those authors so that as soon as we go live, other people will know, you know what I mean, the different types of tastes and stuff like that that everybody's got. And if you guys want to sign up for it, just to let you know, we're very likely going to be shooting out like swag packs for people that are kind of signing up during this event. Not to everyone, to be clear. I should follow that up really quick. But yeah, what we'll do is we'll actually draw a few at random and shoot you guys swag packs. It's kind of one of the things we're quickly becoming well known for.
Yeah, you guys are pretty good with the swag packs.
They are safe for work.
What was that?
They're safe for work.
Yeah, and they are optionally safe for work. I think some of them are not safe for work. If you option for those as well.
Yeah.
So I think it's great.
And I will just add, like, the fact that you guys have a whole community structure built on top of the blockchain, like, with the ability to leave reviews and interact with other people, like, that's functionality I wouldn't have even imagined being possible. So, I don't know, I love what the Crypto Comics guys are doing.
We are pretty awesome.
And, yeah, you are. So, let's see, was there anything else on my mind? I think I got through pretty much everything, and also, it looks like we are just over our time limit. So before we wrap it up, I did want to check if anyone had any final questions, any comments, cat calls. Yes?
So, not to try to hark back to any previous topics we were talking about before.
That's good.
You've been doing a lot of talking in regards to comics and art books, and something when it comes to specifically the website that you guys are all using.
Yeah.
But in a general sense, when it comes to blockchaining and submitting art for potential buyers or auctions, what would you say the process is for that? Because I've, as someone who's browse through NFTs to see what it's kind of about.
Yeah.
I never really got a concrete answer to that. It's like, okay, yeah, we know this is a great world, but how do I get it? How do I physically get drawing art to this?
I can answer that a little bit from my own experience. And I will say, in my experience, I've never done an NFT auction. And I know there's websites that do that, but I've never tried it out. So I can't really okay. Well, so I can't talk about how to do that yet, but I can say when it came to the crypto comics thing, it was pretty easy. They just talked to me. They're like, hey, do you want to help us beta test this? And I was like, okay. So I just made an account. They've got a really easy uploading system. Actually, when I uploaded my first volume, I broke their system. But after we got over that little road bump, they strengthened their system a lot because of it. And so honestly, it felt a lot like just jumping onto like a regular art account, like a Profanity, a DeviantArt. It really felt just like that, except it's on blockchain. So yeah, thank you very much everybody for coming out. Thank you for letting me ramble about all of these things and these big dreams. I do think blockchain is going to be a major game changer to the world of finance and the world of entertainment, and I'm really excited that we are running into it as fast as we can.
Yeah, thank you guys. What is with this music?
I would have almost preferred a Rickroll, but that was good.
They don't understand the technology.
We let Matt run the tech one time, and all of a sudden we've got Africa by Toto playing over loudspeakers instead of a convention center.
Do we have a license for that?
Limited edition.
Can I say that?
Painting 3 of 2.
Hey, thank you guys. Really appreciate it.
Have a good
Good
night.
painting
Like,
3 of
after I jump off the stage, if you want to ask any more
It's
questions or whatever,
so
it's
anyone can
totally fine.
Yes, and many of these digital paintings that they have auctions for are GIFs or like 8-bit paintings. If you think of like Super Nintendo, even before that, that's 16-bit. Nintendo.
Do you have a tab open?
Graphics,
You do.
like
You have a
paintings
tab
that
open.
look like that.
But just to be clear, you own the token rights,
Well, now
but you
we
don't
all
actually own
know
the
that.
intellectual property. Like the U.S. government doesn't think you own the
It could have been
art
worse.
in the sense that whoever made the art and sold you the NFT can still sell me
In
the
case
right.
you guys are wondering what's going on
Yes.
right now, Matt accidentally opened up a tab on his
This is where I
laptop.
can go back and
Try to play
release
it
more first
Africa by
editions.
Toto.
There's 200 first editions.
No.
There's 200 first editions.
For NFTs.
Now we
First
know what that
edition, this
listens to in the
particular
dark
painting
hours.
that you did, there's only 200 of them out there, and the 200.
Who's still in chat? Oh, you like.
Hello? Hello. Maybe you guys can hear me. I don't know. But just want to run through real quick. Willie with Silver says, nice presentation. I agree with Willie. Charles comes in. Many thanks for making a presentation, Dave, because Dave rules. Mythix comes in. Thank you for the presentation. Rose comes in saying, why my voice record has just gone, plus I'm still in the dark over this iPad. Please ask them, are they enjoying themselves? I know that they are enjoying themselves because they've been telling me. And then also, okay, awesome. You guys can hear me. Okay, also, just so you know, they have been posting videos and they have been posting pictures. You can find that content on Facebook. You can find it at our YouTube. So Facebook, Crypto Comics Marketplace, YouTube, Crypto Comics Marketplace. We're also on Twitch, so you guys can actually find the content that they've been sharing. It's been pretty awesome. Yes, rest in peace, Dave. I know, right? So fun. Willie comes in saying, again, many thanks for being there for all the Dreamkeepers and other comic fans. Yes, isn't this awesome? These guys are such studs to actually go to a panel and then bring that to us so that we could be a part of it. These guys are fantastic, just fantastic. Hey, Charlie. Boom, boom, boom. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Let me see if I can switch this around here. Boom. There we go, boys and girls. All right. Thank you, Hazen, for giving me clarity, making sure that I can be heard. Guys, for anybody who's just joining, we just wrapped up a panel on NFTs that David Lillie, and Andrew Fry, and Matt Russell were all part of. So please be sure to watch this if you want any information. Also, smash that like button, click that bell, subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Help us get, hold on, Fry's coming in, just messing up my shiz. What do you want? Stop. Oh my gosh, you messed up my shiz, Fry. I was so smooth, and then you like, blah, 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 blah.
How's everybody doing out here in Streamland? How'd Jared do?
Dude,
did Jared do okay?
I think me? Shut your faces. Look at these clowns. By the way, everybody thinks you guys did incredible, and they all said thank you. Thank you for the presentation.
David's so handsome.
I was thinking he was so organized and like professional.
I could be anyone underneath this.
Oh,
like he was. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Oh no!
Actually,
Sandiego.
I will say, to be honest, this convention has been like so nonstop and hectic. I didn't even start planning this thing until an hour before I was in this room.
Really?
Yeah.
Excellent, dude. Excellent. You covered information good, guys. It sounded really good. We caught most of everything that was said, I believe. The chat was having fun. So thank you, Willie.
All right,
a lot of them are telling me that they could hear me.
Who was going crazy in chat tonight?
Willie, Charlie, Grand, Gabraha. Oh, grab a ham sandwich. Mythics.
Get in.
Yeah, get in, man.
Yep. And Rose, of course. By the way, Matt, you promised you would share everything on Instagram for Rose, so she knows that you're going to make it happen now.
We'll get it out there.
We know you will make sure it happens.
You
better make sure. You're the one that said, you tell her I'll make sure it happens. I told her. I said, Rose, Matt's got you covered.
Man, I tell you, it's good to know that you guys are actually online and watching and enjoying it. Like, I don't know, we had like an audience here, but having another audience there, it's nice to know that I don't know, people are listening and we're trying to communicate some good stuff.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you guys communicated great stuff, dude. I'm telling you, it was fantastic. Now, if there's anybody in the digital audience that has a question for these guys right now, now's the time. They're all standing there. I'm gonna keep going through chat real quick, guys.
Do that. I gotta start picking up GoPros. So.
Yeah. Do your thing. You guys close up. I'm just kind of running through the end of the stream with everybody. Chat was awesome, man. Everybody's here. Curious question: is Dave's suitcase nickname Football?
No, actually, I don't have a name for this briefcase, but I can say I've been using a briefcase since high school because I liked it better than a backpack.
That is slick.
Plus,
that was
school, man,
slick.
You got 5 minutes to get from one end of the school to the other, or you get a tardy, and those hallways are packed with kids that are just standing there doing nothing. I had to use that thing to like beat my way through the halls.
Dude, so you used it like nunchucks? It was like a suitcase chuck?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I mean, I didn't use full force because the staff probably would have.
No, understandable. Yeah. We don't want to hurt anybody.
Yeah, but you can get that leading edge into a crowd and then kind of like wedge your way through.
Oh my God! Yeah, just use it like the tip of the spear. Really, technically speaking, although it's a suitcase.
The best thing about a briefcase is any place, anywhere. If I want to have a desk to draw on, boom.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, that's pretty dang smart.
I just make Matt bend over and I draw on his back.
Whoa, that sounded terrible, Fry. Joe, oh my God, I'm sorry, people. That was out of context. Okay, Joe, great.
Drawing circus or for someone to carry me out of a burning building. I'm calling that.
Joe comes in saying, great presentation, guys.
Oh, thank you.
And then Grab a Ham Sandwich says he's back from the dead. Who? In a winky face. Oh, it must be you. And then, oh my gosh, this new mouse is terrible. Mythic says, Fry and Dave about to drop a new hit single, right? I was thinking the same thing. They look so good up there on stage, like naturals.
I tend to look better the more I cover up, actually.
Charlie thinks you look like you're robbing a train.
Well, I don't know how he knew that, but please keep it off the internet, Charlie.
Yes, don't worry. The internet never lies. And then, Robe, I hope I can catch everyone Tuesday morning. Have a great weekend. Bye for now. Sending to everyone. Oh, bye, Rose.
Bye, Rose.
Bye, Rose.
Believe you're still live. You're still live, remember? No, I did not know that. No, I'm just kidding. I knew that. I was just joking.
No.
Willie says, are you guys going to try and do a live stream for your Vivid booth?
Actually, I'm not going to because I don't really know how to live stream on the go. But we do have, this is the first time we've got like a TV where people can actually play the video game at our booth. Next year, maybe we could get a setup and do some streaming from there. That'd be fun.
Well, if Matt and Fry can pull something together, then we would love to just, house it here, and I could start the stream live, and you guys could just jump on and show us something. I mean, just saying.
Hey.
Oh crap! Wait.
You're not the one. You're not the one here working. You're sitting at home, eating bonbons on the couch.
No, I'm not. It's not true. Well, just a minute. Let me grab a drink real quick. Well.
You don't need to be volunteering, everybody.
That's not a bonbon. That's a Coke. That's completely different.
Listen, it's not. I wasn't trying to volunteer. It was requested by the community, dude.
Where's that request? I see
right here.
Asking if he was going.
Willie Silver, are you going to try and do a live stream from Vivid's booth?
I would say not this year. If I'm banning Fry from doing it.
No. That question was specific to Fry, David.
No, David just said he's banning me from doing it.
I banned him. I want
no.
They're having fun.
David.
Jared.
That question was. I need Fry to say no.
You are in a remote location. I am in the commander at the battlefield. You cannot control us.
Wow. I don't know what to say. I'm speechless. You're totally right. Well, I'm not going to argue. Oh, Mythix comes in saying, suitcase life. Okay, now wait. Mythic said, okay, now you've sold me on it. Portable table. Boom. See? That's the second. Oh, so brilliant. So brilliant.
Plus, you got your drawing stuff right in here. Paper, pencil.
That's a fancy briefcase.
Obviously the dinosaur book, because that's the hard surface to draw on when you got the briefcase out. But no, I love them. Like I said, ever since high school, I was probably the coolest kid in high school because no one else did it, and they looked at me like, I'm assuming it was admiration.
Oh, it totally was. It totally was. I'm looking at you in admiration, so I know it was the same. It's a suitcase filled with ruins made from both Nabonidus and other various dark dreamkeepers, experts of ruin crafting. Ooh,
I would never admit to that. Ruins are usually evil people mess with those. Evil people and Lilith.
Well, now, I mean, technically speaking, I mean, if you're using the ruins for good things, I'm just saying, ruins could be good too. It all depends on the hand of the beholder.
This is totally off topic, but if there's anyone that is at Megaplex and watching this stream, I don't know why you would be watching the stream instead of here, but they have the coolest business cards here. Man, they're like shiny, like reflective. So
oh my gosh.
If you've ever got a chance to like track them down in real life, try to get one of these. I'm stealing one.
Dude, I'm so jelly. That looks awesome.
I'm going to let you know, only one of us has those business cards.
Oh.
Who's that? Fry?
Yeah. Fry has them because you and I still have probably a box left.
I don't have any. I haven't had any for over a year. I've told Fry this 6 times. And he says, oh, don't worry, Jared, I'll get you some. And every time, he never gets me any.
Well, I tell you what, I'm trying to collect them all. So if I ever get like the opportunity to grab a card from you, and Matt, if you have one, I'll collect one from you too.
Dude, nice. Hey, David, I'll sign mine, Bug Magnet.
Oh, nice. Actually,
just for you, buddy.
If you guys are coming by the table tomorrow, I'll try to get you to sign these in like silver Sharpie. That'd be cool.
Are you serious?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, that's an awesome idea, Fry.
It's not just a business card. It's a Crypto Comics staff trading card.
Hey,
exclusive.
Gio looked at me like I was a psychopath when I asked him to sign my book.
Just wait till I show them what Gio wrote for mine.
We'll do that
It's
after
not the shiny
on
one.
unboxing.
And then Charlie comes in saying, "Well said, Dave." And then Rose says, "Thanks you again for getting me through a difficult morning, Fry, Matt, David, and everyone at the convention. And Jared, I really want to thank you all." Well, thank you, Rose. You're awesome. Thanks for attending. This has been real fun.
Jared didn't do anything.
Well, crap, I didn't. Are you kidding? I brought this thing together. I was the brains behind it all. I told David what to say through an earpiece. It was like the FBI, you know, he had that little curled up headpiece thing in his ear. You guys can't see it because of his awesome mask and hat, but yeah, dude.
Guys, like, actually, the one that did not do anything was me. When I came in here earlier to the panel, I was standing around like a stump. These guys were going around like freaking mission control. It's like, oh, check 1, check 2. This mic is bad. Oh, we have to jury rig this with zip ties. Hurry. They got the cameras all set up.
That's my boys.
I don't know if you're making fun of us, but those are all things that I did, and I'm taking it a little personal.
Hey,
I'm just saying.
That's why we call Fry special sauces. I mean forces.
Call Fry that.
Special forces.
I've never heard someone say that about you, Fry.
Thank you.
Thank
you, David.
Special sauces.
This is what I love.
I meant special forces. Fry is special forces. Matt is the grunt that carries the backpack in, you know, and then he stands there and Fry like tears all the gear out, right?
All right.
Well, cool then. We got to go so that Matt can carry my backpack.
I'm just kidding, Matt. I'm just kidding. I know you be setting up with him. Suitcases are cool, Joe says. Yes, they are.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Charlie came in to argue. If I was rune crafting them, I would have used it for super soldier projects. The CCA ain't gonna take it away from us. Yep. What I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Hazen says, shiny like a treasure from a sunken pirate wreck. Oh, somebody's talking about couch. Oh, look, that's what's behind us.
I'm a sucker for shiny.
Oh, she's still watching. Hi, David, Fry, and Matt. Rose is still watching you guys because you just can't be. Jared, I have tons of your cards at the office. Oh, well, that explains a lot. Well, we found my cards, everybody. We found my cards. Excellent. Now I know why I don't have them. Thank you.
Cards have been located.
Hey, guys. So thanks again, guys. This has been awesome. I was telling everybody to like, share, and subscribe, and you know, share it out. Unfortunately, we got shut down on Facebook while this was going, so I did put it out there for people to actually check out YouTube, Crypto Comic Marketplace, or Facebook well, you can't see it on Facebook, but Crypto Comics Marketplace on YouTube.
About Mark Zuckerberg, didn't I? I think I mentioned Mark Zuckerberg in a negative light during that. Do you think that's what caused Facebook to shut us down? Do you think?
Holy crap, dude! I'm not even joking. Like, it literally got canceled right around the time you were Zucker smacking.
I thought you said Gutenberg.
Well, plus the last time we were streaming live, it was right before another presentation during CouchCon. Yeah, it was right before CouchCon. Yeah. They shut down our live stream then too.
Yep.
So Facebook.
Now, Mythic says probably because of Toto starting.
Toto starting.
Toto didn't start until way after that was already down though. From what but I didn't run tech tonight, so I'm not 100% positive on that, but it seemed like that.
No,
I'm pretty sure it went down like it didn't. I think we were up for like a few minutes and then it went down. It went down pretty fast. I don't think it was due to anything you said. I think Facebook just doesn't like the fact that our community kicks ass and they share a lot, and so we actually get out there without giving them any money, and so they don't like us.
Yeah, you guys should get like a gigantic inflatable hand and maybe like some gyros or motors. Take it, wheel it in front of Facebook's corporate office, and wag a finger at them, like a 30-foot tall finger. Be like, oh, Facebook, tisk, tisk, tisk.
That'd be funny.
I think get results.
Oh, wait, we got Charlie coming in saying Zuck's algorithm managed to pick up on the W.
Minimum necessary.
I don't know what that is. And according to Grab a Ham Sandwich, Zucker smacking sounds dirty. It does sound dirty, Zucker smacking, doesn't it? Yeah, that. So we got algorithm and a Mythic's ha 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 ha. So, boys, what's your next destination? Where are you guys going from here?
The bar.
Yeah, I gotta get on some commissions in my room and then some sleep.
Oh, Willie wants to know which finger you wanted to wag at the Facebook corporate. Oh,
definitely
1, 2.
Just
pointer finger.
The pointer finger, minimum necessary force. You don't want to go to level 2 unless you really need it.
Right. Just a wag, a small, insignificant wag of the finger.
Yeah, I think that would probably do the trick. Mark would be like,
oh wow, that's tiny. That's like. I was thinking like.
No, you gotta have it just a little, so it gets him nostalgic about his mom, and then that triggers deep-seated psychological problems, and then maybe he'll do what we want.
You're sick,
dude. Yep, that's excellent. Way to go, Freudian on him, dude.
Yeah.
The W is just the emoji face for sad. Oh, got you. All right, that's good to know. He. Good choice. Willie loves and approves your message.
Nobody said.
And then Charlie comes in saying, "I'm going to have some Coors for tonight." Oh, Coors or Coors Light. Silver Bullet won't slow you down.
Mario Kart.
Okay, but I got a question. Hit us with it, Charlie.
Uh-oh. Question.
Yeah, he hasn't told us yet. He just said he has one. So give me a minute, and once it's up, I'll let you know. Oh, here we go. Will Volume 5 and Omnibus books be released by the time you get home from Megaplex?
I will say they're printing right now, but I got to get home and then see. I still need them to arrive to me. Right now they're being printed in a foreign country, but then freight is going to take like between 4 to 8 weeks. But I should get like a tracking number by the time I get home, hopefully.
Okay, awesome. Fantastic. Oh, yeah, dude. All them Volume 5 backers, you guys are all so awesome.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to getting the crypto comic set up for Volume 5 too. I know I've been like, I got to post that announcement so I can get rolling. Get rolling on that. But I want to do audio commentary for that, and me and Liz have some plans. It's gonna be fun. Plus, I should see if I can put some of the animations in there, because some of the Volume 5 scenes, I actually kind of did some motion graphics on those for the trailer when I was doing the Indiegogo. And it's like, hey, I got the raw clips. I could actually pop them into the pages where those panels are. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I should totally.
Yeah. Dude, that sounds awesome. So we might have some awesome volume content coming.
Yeah. Like that's really cool too, because it's gonna be neat to be able to do promotional neat little clips and stuff, and then actually have it in the comic so people can appreciate it even if they're just reading it casually.
Yeah.
Again, it's like you can use these things as a content hub. It's just neat.
When you flip it.
Yeah.
TV phone.
That's awesome. Rose comes in. Hi again. Still listening, but I want to know if you're doing any badges Monday night. So I don't believe we're not doing any badges tonight, guys. My bad. I'm not a badge master like Fry and Matt. So I apologize. So no badges tonight. However, I'm sure the boys will have some badges or badge ideas for us by the time they get back that we'll kind of shoot out as little clips here and there with some secret badge codes in them.
Media, Jared. We'll do a badge announcement on social media to compensate for this.
Yeah, that's what I was just getting at.
Thing.
Yeah, well, it is tragic that you guys, we're so just out there drinking margaritas and kicking it in the sun and forgot about us guys back in the caves.
We got margaritas? Where was mine? Dude?
I have had 0 margaritas.
Oh my gosh! Stop it! You guys, stop it!
I will take a margarita.
I saw those pictures you be posting, a little wavy. I know what's going on. I know what's going on in Florida, and why you guys are off camera right now, sipping your little beers.
Oh, so tequila.
No.
Oh.
I've got my goofy diet. I can't do anything fun. Although
you can't do vodka on your diet.
I made a green smoothie yesterday that was pretty sick.
Ooh.
Charlie said that's understandable, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I had alcohol when I was a younger man. Now that I got the health thing, it's like, oh well, it's fine. I don't need alcohol to be a goofy idiot. It happens natural.
Oh, really? You're like me?
Yeah, like if
who needs alcohol when you got this mug?
Yeah.
Everybody else in the room. That's who needs.
Oh my gosh! Matt was dude.
No, that was actually, that was me throwing my voice. Did I do a good Matt impression?
Oh my gosh!
Here, listen, I'll do it again.
What's up?
Oh my God, do it again. Tell me a story.
All right.
There once was somebody that did something. It was cool.
Wow, that actually looked pretty good.
Thank you.
Almost like you guys rehearsed it.
No, that's just I just like to improv match sometimes. I do it when I'm alone.
That's fantastic. Oh, really? Well, that's quick. Hurry, get him off camera. That didn't work.
Oh, I didn't say that out loud. That wasn't me. I didn't say that. That was Fry imitating me.
That was not.
I swear to God.
That's understandable.
Why would I say
Charlie's
that?
statement is so perfect. That's understandable. We can use that for a lot of things. That's understandable.
Listen, check the video. Do you see my mouth moving? I think we can, prove.
You're wearing a mask. That's not even fair.
Oh, Willie came in with it, dude. Whose line is it anyway, right? That's awesome.
All right, guys. Well,
It's not tequila. It's Jim LaHaye's liquor from the trailer park boys.
Yeah.
Hey, Jared.
What?
Jared, we got to get out of this panel room because they left me alone with a giant projector and a PA system, and I really kind of want to just hook up my Nintendo with this thing and play Mario Kart all night.
Just do it.
Dude, we would definitely get kicked out of this place.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be the first time, so just do it.
Oh,
hey,
all
Jared.
right, we got to go, buddy.
Jared, I'll talk to you like the next time we talk. Have a good night, man.
All right, David. You guys have fun. Be safe, guys. Thank you so much. See you, man. Oh, my gosh, guys. Well, thanks, everybody. Thank you, everybody who came and hung out with us again. Go back through and watch the panel. They did some really good answers, Q&A on NFTs and stuff. Smash that like button, click that bell, subscribe, and show you care by giving a share, everybody. Thank you again. It's going to take me a minute to get out of here because I'm not as awesome as Fry is, obviously. Let me see where I'm going. I don't even know. Oh, hey, wait a minute. Willie says, bye, bye. And then Willie also says, good night, have fun. Good night, I will have fun. Thank you very much. And then Charlie says, take care, Crypto Squad. No kidding, man. Aren't those guys awesome? That was so fantastic that they did that. And then Grab a Ham Sandwich says, Dingus. I don't even know what that means. I'm not 100% sure on that one. But that's all right, because that's where we're going to end it, y'all. Have a great night and stay cool. Thanks everybody for coming. You guys make this